Yo, what's up? Sanzy3 here. I'm here to do another video, finally. I'm going to be doing a One Piece tag. I got tagged by Morkeiichi, someone that I've talked to quite a bit in some of the streams. I think he or she, I'm not sure who is subbed to me, but yeah, he tagged me, and so I'm going to do it. Before I do that, though, let me help him out a little, him or her out a little bit. He whatever gender that person is, they tagged some people, so I'm gonna help them out and say who they tagged, including me. It was Blazebolt Sniper, 5-star Usopp, and King of Lightning. So if you guys can do that, that'd be awesome. And I'm gonna tag pretty much everyone in the fandom group. So Zoro, Smoke. Well, Smoke doesn't really make videos anymore, so not him. But Jorisha, if you want to do it, Merlin, Hero, whoever it is. And King Recon, do it. If you want to do it, just do it, basically. But those are the people I'm going to tag, and yeah, anyone who wants to do it, go ahead and do it. That's who I tag. But yeah, let's do this. So let me pull up the questions right here. 21 questions. Okay, so who is your favorite character and why? So my favorite character is Ace, because of the whole, I like his whole story in Marineford. How he considered himself the son of a criminal, and he tried to figure out like if him being born was a good thing. I love characters that go through that sort of dilemma. So as soon as I saw that, he instantly became my favorite. Not to mention he was like an older brother, and I'm an older brother, so I like that whole relationship that he has with Luffy. He can be polite. Only thing that I might not like about him is that he lets his temper get the best of him, especially like the whole thing with Akainu and all that. But besides that, I really like him a lot. And my second favorite character is probably it is Law. All the more strengthened by that flashback that we got in Dressrosa with him and Rocinante. So yeah, this is my favorite character. What's your favorite villain and why? Okay, so this is going to be like kind of a hard question, because I'm not done rereading One Piece yet. To be honest with you, I stopped after Skypiea because of various things in life, and I just don't really have the interest to continue my reread at the moment. I will finish it at some point, just not now. So I'm gonna kind of like break this up into two parts, if you will. And I probably should have done this for the first question. If you guys want to know who my favorite character was when I was rereading in the reread, it was between Ace and Zoro. So and it was Zoro was there because I like his whole lazy attitude, and he's a badass, and all, I like characters like that. So and he's funny, so all of that. And that whole statement, like in Skypiea, I don't believe in God. Oh, that was cool as shit. So yeah, and so I'll do the same thing for this one. Who's your favorite villain and why? So when on my reread, I thought it was gonna be Crocodile, but it actually wasn't Crocodile. It was Enel, and I was a little surprised at this because I usually don't like God complex characters. Those sort of characters I usually tend to dislike quite a lot. Like say Kira from Death Note. I don't really like him because of that. But I was kind of surprised because Enel, like, yeah, he has a god complex, but he's also lazy, and he's laid back, and he has some funny dialogue, and he has cool powers. So that combination of things makes him my favorite villain in the reread. But I think that when I finish rereading all of One Piece, it's going to be Lucci, because what I remember about Lucci was the whole past that he had. I usually like taciturn characters. Silent, stoic, quiet characters are usually my sort of characters that I tend to like a lot. And so he's one of them. He's a man of few words, but he's also an assassin. That's pretty cool. And I like his whole backstory with the scars on his back, and that backstory where he killed the hostages to prevent like any sort of like leakage of information, if I remember correctly. I have to reread that part, obviously, but I do think like when I finish my reread, Rob Lucci is going to be my favorite villain out of them all. I would say Akainu Sakazuki, but he's just a little too extreme for my taste. Kizaru's okay, but not okay. He's good. There's just something off-putting about him to me. I don't know what it is. Can't really describe it. It's not so much the lazy attitude. Like he is very like lackadaisical, and like he speaks like a little aloofly, and usually like that shouldn't make him my favorite, but that should make him my favorite. But I don't know. There's something about him that's kind of like holding him back from boosting up in my favorites. I don't know what it is. I can't really describe it. If you consider Kuzan Aokiji a villain, he would probably be my favorite too. Lazy characters, as you know, are just well, as you now know, are just not my are my favorite sorts of characters. I like those laid back, lazy characters and aloof. Those are always my favorite types of characters. But yeah, Anel on the reread and Lucci probably when I'm finished. What is your favorite quote or statement? My favorite quote or statement, like I just said, Zoro, I don't believe in God. I like that one. There's another one that I thought was interesting. Luffy's whole, you think risking your life is enough? You got to risk your friends as well. I thought that was pretty powerful and that was pretty interesting. I thought that was a really good quote because a lot of characters are just focused on the self, which I like. Those sorts of characters are usually my favorite. But I also think that it's interesting that being able to risk your friends' lives for something is also a very interesting and willingly risking their lives is a very interesting subject to deal with. I think I've talked about it before. Yusuke, when if you guys have watched or read or watched Yu Yu Hakusho, when he makes that tournament, he's risking his friends' lives for the sake of a good fight. Goku does that constantly after he finds out that he's a Saiyan in the Dragon Ball series. Shogun in Gintama, like when he realizes that sometimes you, as a leader, if you want to keep in power and make sure what's best for your country, you need to make sacrifices. So that sort of thing I really like. So I like that statement by Luffy. Rocinante's I love you. I love that one. There was another one that came to mind, but I can't. Oh yeah, Anel's fear is God. That's a really good philosophical quote, I think, because it's true. Like when we fear the unknown, if we don't understand something, we tend to fear it, and our fear can overtake us, and we, in a sense, it becomes our God because we're we're fearful of it, but we're also in awe of what's in front of us, right? So, or whatever that unknown thing is. So those are the three that come off the top of my head. Which is your favorite female character? Probably Robin. Same reason as Ace. I like the whole devil child thing and how she tries to cope with that. She had a very hard childhood, and I like that she finally thinks that she deserves to live in the Enies Lobby arc. I like what she specializes in, stealth and assassination. She looks good. I like her powers, so yeah, probably Robin. Nami's up there too, though. Not in, at least on the reread, Nami and Robin are Nami was really one of my favorite characters on the reread. So I'm sure she's up there. I don't know if she's gonna be ahead of Robin once I reread everything, but she's definitely up there too. And I also like Marguerite, the Amazon Lily girl. What is your favorite fight? Probably Luffy versus Lucci. Martial arts things are just my sort of thing, and yeah, so probably that one. I like the whole Rokushiki, Gomu Gomu no Gatling, Gum Gatling, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah, I just like that fight. What is your favorite episode? I can't really answer that because I don't really know episode by episode, so I can't really answer that. Question number 7. What's your favorite One Piece opening? My favorite One Piece opening is opening 3. This one's easy. I love that fucking opening. English or Japanese, it's fantastic. It was the one that was used for Skypiea. It was like that one. I think it's called Hikari E, light something, maybe. What's your favorite movie or special or episode of? My favorite movie, I think, is Strong World. I like Z, but I have problems with the ending of Z, the whole use of guns and all that. I didn't think it was really that good an ending, but the stuff with Aokiji and Z versus the Marines, that was good. But I'm talking about the stuff before that, the ending sequences I kind of had a problem with. So Strong World I like a lot because I like that Shiki pretty much owned them, everyone pretty spectacularly, and I like the finishing move. I like the actual fight, and I also like the interaction because some of the voice actors. Previously, I worked on Dragon Ball. The guy who voices Dr. Indigo was Ryusu Nakao, who did Frieza, and he does Mayuri in Bleach and Caesar Clown in One Piece. But he was fighting Zoro. And I think he had an interaction with the Luffy who was Krillin. So yeah, I don't know. It's just the whole Toei voice actor thing, interacting with one another. I like that whole part of it too. But One Piece movie 6 is something that I need to watch because I'm sure if I watch that will be my favorite movie because that had Mamoru Hosoda, who is one of anime's the anime industry is like one of the best like animators and directors. I think he does animation, like legit animation. I know he was the director for that movie, but I'm sure like that one is gonna be my favorite once I watch it. What's your favorite arc in One Piece? Skypiea. The villain, the villains, Gonfall, the side characters, the flashback with Kagura. I love all of it. The powers, the stuff that we find out about Roger, meeting Blackbeard if you want to count Jaya. All that stuff makes it my favorite arc in One Piece. What's your favorite One Piece video game? I can't really answer that because I really haven't played One Piece video games. If you were in the One Piece universe, whose crew would you want to join? The Straw Hat one would be probably the most fun. So maybe that. Whitebeard. I probably join Whitebeard because I get a badass tattoo. Maybe the Blackbeard pirates too. I would think. But then they'd have to commit like a lot of like horrendous shit, and I don't know if I'd want to do that. Maybe the Law Pirates too, just because he's my second favorite character. Fox Pirates might be fun, I guess. Damn. What is the saddest One Piece moment? Definitely for me, it's Ace's death, because when you find out like about his past, and when he's telling Luffy and like the whole brother to brother talk, and you find out about the fact that like he didn't know if him being alive was a good thing. I relate with that, so that was definitely the saddest thing for me. And Law, like the whole thing with Rocinante, that was pretty sad for me as well. So I'm gonna go with those two because those were the most personal for me, because they're my favorite characters. What is the most shocking moment? Oh, so there was a post about this in one of the Facebook groups. I think it was the One Piece Facebook group, the Will These Nuts. But it's pretty obvious to me like what those two like. It's like there were a lot of like no offense to Dylan, but like there were a lot of dumb choices on that, and I thought like two of them were like the obvious choices, and I'm gonna say those two, and that was obviously Ace being Roger's son, and Shirahoshi being Poseidon. I mean, to me, I don't think there's any other plot twist in the series that really comes close to the magnitude of those two, because those are like the main, like those have to do with like the main meat of the story, right? Or like the underlying plot line. So those two are definitely the most shocking as far as I'm concerned. What is the funniest One Piece moment, and who's the funniest character? I don't know who the funniest character is, because like all of them have some sort of like humorous side to them, and I don't know. I don't think there is a funniest character, but because they're all funny. But the funniest One Piece moment, I can't really answer that either, because I don't. Not only have I not finished my reread, but I just haven't gotten like I can't really remember too much of like extremely funny moments. But one that definitely comes to mind, I guess, is what was I gonna say? The Luffy and the Afro talk in Foxy. I like that. So I'll just choose that one because I can't really think of anything else. What is the most memorable moment? I don't know what the most memorable moment is, but definitely for me was the end of Skypiea when he, and now it turns into like that blue giant lightning giant like thing, and then Luffy sends him flying with the gold ball into the bell. That is definitely one that comes to mind. That's probably the most memorable for me, at least. And also Ace's death itself, because that was, that's what made him my favorite character. What is your favorite ability in One Piece? Probably I like Luffy's, his Devil Fruit, Sanji's Black Leg style. Like anything that's martial arts based is probably my favorite. Red Leg, I think, is with Zeph, and Rokushiki, and like all that stuff. I like Shigan, and Haki's pretty cool. So the martial arts stuff is my favorite thing in One Piece. But if I were to go a little more like creative, I guess. I like zones a lot because I like animals a lot, so my favorite zone type is probably Dalton's, because not only is he the first Zoan in the series, but the first Zoan, because Chopper comes after, but I just like the design of that bison. It just looks so good to me. So yeah, I like that fruit a lot. As far as Lojos go, I like all the Lojos pretty much, because you pretty much become the element. But yeah. Do you own any One Piece merchandise? I don't think so. Maybe like I have a Shonen Jump cover with Luffy, or Shonen Jump issue with Luffy on the cover, but I think that's the only thing that I own. Do you prefer watching One Piece in sub or dub? Both, both. It depends. I mean, it depends on my mood. What is the number one thing you love the most about One Piece? I guess it's between the characters and the world, like the union of the two, I guess, if you will. Because the characters, I like the humor, and I don't know. They're just some of them are like fun characters, so I like quite a lot of them. But I also like the world and the underlying plot lines, and like how if one thing is happening, something else on the other side of the Grand Line or something is happening too. So it's the union of those two things, and I like the underlying mysteries, and like the Willow D, the One Piece, and the Void Sentry. Like those three things coming together is also one of my favorite stuff. The art's pretty good too. What's the one thing you hate the most about One Piece? So I think I've talked about this before, but I felt like some of the there's Oda tends to make moments more emotional or more dramatic than they need to be. It's kind of hard for me to explain unless I give you like specific examples. So I'll give you one, and I only say this one because this is like the most recent one that comes to mind. But it was when Fujitora Isho, he was criticizing the world government, and he was like, does the world government think like it's a god? And like the panel like made it seem like so dramatic, and I didn't think it really needed that. But what happened after that was like Vice Admiral Maynard was behind him, and then he reeled over in shock, like typical anime reaction, like like you know what I'm talking about. And I didn't think like that was a very genuine moment. So it's moments like that that kind of irk me in One Piece. And then I also don't like how every attack is named in One Piece. The thing that I like about Dragon Ball Yu Hakusho Gintama is like, Dragon Ball Yu Hakusho is like not every attack is named, and obviously like when you get to the video games, like in Dragon Ball, the Budokai series and the Yu Hakusho, the PS2 Dark Tournament game, and like all the other various games that came out for Yu Hakusho, they have to name those attacks, and the names that the video games give those attacks are always treated as like canon, if you will, like official names. But like for instance, Frieza's Death Beam, right? But it's never called Death Beam in the official series. It's just Finger Beam, right? Like that would be an example. Like that's one of the things like I like about like my favorite series, in the sense that not every attack has to be named. And like very few attacks are named. Like even Toriyama was talking about it. He was like, you just don't have the time to like shout an attack name and then fire it, which is true. It usually doesn't happen quite a lot in the manga, at least. Like even in Battle of Gods, when Goku fired the Kamehameha at Beerus in space, he didn't even say Kamehameha, and in the film is what I mean. So that's one thing that I really like in Shonen, and One Piece kind of like shits on that and says fuck that, we're naming every attack, and I don't like it. And it especially holds true for like Luffy and Sanji. Like I don't think that every attack needs to be named, especially with like maybe more so with Sanji, I guess, because I don't remember all of Luffy's names or all of his attack names. Like of course like Diable Jambe and Red Hawk need to be named, right? Because they have like fire, and the look of the arm and the leg are different, right? But well, at least in Luffy's case, the look of the arm is different. But I think so. But like if it's just like a regular like punch or kick, especially like in Sanji's case, like for instance, like if Sanji kicks you on the neck, I think it's called like Collier. But he kicks the same way at the knee, and it's called like Penoir or something. I don't know. I don't know the names of his attacks, but that's one thing that I hate. Like every attack is named, and I sometimes think like it's not necessary, because I feel like if he didn't name his attacks and it was just like kick after punch after kick after punch or whatever, like that would make it like all the more better. And so, like of course, you need some sort of names, like in Luffy's case, Red Hawk needs to be named, Bound Man needs to be explained, like the different gears. But like there's this one there's this one attack that Luffy used on Doflamingo. It was called like Trebonon or something. I don't know. And it was just like a regular like double foot gum no stamp. You know that attack where he just attacks with the sole of his foot. It was just that, and attacks like those don't need to be named, and like the collier and the peignoir, whatever that is called. So yeah, those are my two complaints, and I don't think I really have any other. Maybe a third complaint, if that's what we want to call it, is sometimes I feel like characters are too shaken by the conviction and the will of other characters. So, like an example would be like very early on when Mihawk, he defeats Zoro for the first time at Baradier, right? And then he sees Zoro, and then Zoro does something like he says, I forget what he says, but he gets stabbed like right above his heart, and then he says something, and then Mihawk goes like, "What conviction?" Like he's so shocked. And I didn't really think that moment like should have garnered that sort of reaction. It didn't feel like a genuine reaction to me. And then obviously Mihawk pulls out his black sword and then defeats him. But that's one thing that in One Piece that I guess that sort of like irks me a little bit, is that sometimes I feel like when they are too bold, or they're too like, they showed like their character, maybe, if that's what you will. I don't know if like that's the right phrase or term to use, but whenever that happens and then the characters like taken aback by that, I don't really like those moments. Sometimes there are moments where it's cool, but like obviously like Whitebeard and the way that he died, like that was awesome. But stuff like that Zoro moment, I don't really like personally. Does One Piece take your number one spot in your favorite anime? So this is the last question. No. It's not even close to my top 10 anime. Shonen, manga, and overall series, I'm still in the middle of like deciding like where exactly it is. But it could be fifth by the time that I'm done rereading. As far as anime goes, yeah, definitely not in my top 10 anime. But as far as shonen, manga, and overall series go, it could be somewhere in my top 10. It has a good chance to be. I just need to like make my list and all that. But yeah, that's the 21 question tag. Thank you, Morkeiichi, if that's how you pronounce it, for tagging me. Like I said before, I tag anyone that wants to do it. The PhantomGroup, King Recon, anyone that wants to do it, go ahead and do it. But yeah, that's my video. I'm gonna do one more video after this on Yu Yu Hakusho, so stay tuned for that. But thank you guys for watching. Peace.